In this video, I'm going to walk through how to create a pivot table in Excel. I am using Office 365 Excel on a computer running Windows. The process is the same on a Mac. The VLOOKUP function allows us to look up and retrieve data from a specific column in a table. For example, if we have the two-letter abbreviation for a state, we might want to look up the full state name. We are going to walk through an example of how to use the VLOOKUP function in a basic situation. This page is a screenshot of the main worksheet we have for this demonstration. We have a set of insurance sales records. The insurance variable cost percentage varies depending on the state and type of insurance being sold. There's a field called state type that specifies the state and type of insurance. We need to pull that information from a table in another worksheet that lists the percentages for each state type combination. Our objective is to fill in the variable cost percentage column in this main worksheet from the information in the other worksheet. Here is a snippet of that second worksheet that contains the variable cost percent for each state type combination. The data we are looking up using VLOOKUP needs to be in the leftmost column, which is where it is in this worksheet. That column also needs to be sorted in A to Z order, which it has been here. The variable cost percentages are in column B. This worksheet contains data down to row 246. We need to add the variable cost percentage to the main data worksheet. Click in cell I2. The variable cost percentage is in the variable cost percent worksheet that we just saw in a screenshot. To get the variable cost percentage for each sale, we will use the VLOOKUP function. You will click on cell I2 in the main worksheet here to insert the formula to look up the variable cost percentage from the variable cost percent worksheet. Type the formula into cell I2. The formula is equal VLOOKUP parenthesis H2 comma variable cost percent exclamation mark $A $2 colon $B $246 comma 2 slash comma 0 parenthesis. We are going to walk through the elements of that formula next. Let's look at that VLOOKUP formula that we just typed into cell I2 so that you can edit appropriately for your own use. After typing in equal VLOOKUP, the first term is the cell that contains the state type code in this worksheet, which is cell H2. This cell contains the cell address for the information in the worksheet that you are currently looking up, the cell that has the data that you need to look up in another location. In this case, cell H2 contains the state type field for row 2. Next, we would point to the range that contains all of the state type codes and the related variable cost percentages. We would point to the range of cells that contains the lookup information. Here, the information we need is in a separate worksheet named variable cost percent and can be found in cells A2 through B246 in that variable cost percent worksheet. Notice that we have to insert dollar signs in front of the row and column references in the range for the information we are looking up. Those dollar signs prevent Excel from changing the row or column when the formula is copied down to other cells. Notice that you need to put the dollar sign in front of both the column letter and the row number. The next part of the formula is the column number in the variable cost percent worksheet that contains the variable cost percentage. In this case, it is the second column, so we have a 2 here. And finally, the last piece of the formula is a 0 at the end. This 0 will produce an error code if there is no match for the state type code. Copy the VLOOKUP formula down to the remainder of the cells in the column by double-clicking on the small square in the lower right corner of the cell containing the VLOOKUP formula. Here's a close-up of that box that you double-click to copy the VLOOKUP formula down to the rest of the column. We can see that the variable cost percentage for each row of data has been filled in all the way down the column. That's it. We are done. This video was created and narrated by Dr. Wendy Tietz and is part of the Excel Skill Builder video series. See accountingisanalytics.com for additional faculty and student resources.